Hi Cancer, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for your weekly tarot check for the week of June 7th through June 14th. This is for all Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I just want to thank you all for the warm comments that you leave, the likes, sharing, and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate that, and it's so fun for me to do these readings. And it raises my vibration, so thank you for that. And if you're new, I'd love to have you as a subscriber. If you tap the bell, you'll be notified when new videos are posted, but it's usually every week. So I just, around this time, I do a love tarot reading for the month, and then this will just be a weekly reading, okay? So if it doesn't resonate, don't try to fit yourself into it. Check into a different part of your chart, maybe your rising, your moon, or your Venus, if this is your sun sign. But let's see what the guidance is here, please, for Cancer. The guidance for Cancer for June 7th through the 14th for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Now again, we're dealing with sacred divination here, so I do my best to fit it into our human, align our human timelines, but sometimes it doesn't, right? You can't control the mystic. So Sunday, you've got the Page of Cups. That card keeps showing up. Monday, you've got the Two of Wands. Tuesday, you have the Two of Pentacles. Wednesday, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Thursday, you have the Five of Pentacles. Friday, you have the Star card. Saturday, you have the Fool. And Sunday, you've got the King of Wands. Well, I'll tell you right away, your hard work is going to pay off for you. I think you've been putting in a lot of time with things, and very much detail-oriented. Attention to detail here is really going to pay off. Some of you may find something, some kind of an error that was made that will end up either saving you money or getting you money returned. But either way, there's some kind of mistake in something, like paperwork-wise. It's minor, but it's, for somebody here, something that you're going to find. So Sunday, you've got the Page of Cups, and I feel like for some of you, you're going to be, you're going to be around younger people. I feel like you maybe family members, or even somebody who, maybe a friend who comes and brings their kids to play in your yard or something like that. I do feel like you've got this young energy around you. This is also a law of attraction card, so it's all about making manifestations in the 3D world. So if some of you have been missing your family because of social distancing and COVID-19, I think you're going to have a reunion coming up here where it's going to feel a lot safer, maybe even just to go to the beach and go do some things, get an ice cream, something like that. I definitely think you're going to be reconnected here in a way that will feel a lot more normal to you. Monday, you've got the Two of Wands here, and so I haven't really talked about this, but you have Aquarius here, you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and you have Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn in this reading. So I do feel like you're taking command of something, you're taking charge of something. I do feel like you have some kind of decision that needs to be made. And it might even be about a purchase. I feel like of like a car or something. There's something going on with that where you're trying to decide what to do. Somebody feels like they've got a lease that comes due and it's time to move on to something else. And it's like it's fun, but it's not as fun as it normally would be. I hate to say that, but because I do tend to look at positives. But I do feel like it's almost more of a like, oh, I got to go take care of this thing than really a lot of excitement around it. But I do, again, feel like you have on Tuesday that energy carries over a little bit. And you've got this Two of Pentacles here where you're balancing some things. And it could be certainly numbers, trying to look at numbers, trying to figure some things out. Or even it's somebody that might need help with something, like they're looking for a co-signer. I do get this energy about a car for some reason. And it may be related to somebody else who is looking for some kind of co-signer or something like that. They may ask you to help, and I think it's you kind of deciding what you can do and how much you can really extend yourself out there and put yourself in that position if that's the case. You do have, and it could be one of your own kids too. For some of you, it might be a kid of yours with the Page of Cups here. On Wednesday, you've got the Seven of Pentacles here, and this is like, you're kind of wondering what's next, like what's going to happen next for me, and just contemplative overall, looking at the narrative in your life, kind of taking stock of, am I really happy at this career? And for somebody, it feels like they've been somewhere for maybe 5 years or somewhere around that time. And they're kind of looking at what lateral moves can I make, not lateral, but what upward moves. I do feel like there might be an opening, an internal posting is what I get. An internal posting, and you're really considering, I think I'm going to throw my name in the hat for it, and you should. If that's for you and there's some kind of internal posting, I would say go for it. So you've got here a bit of a change coming through on Thursday, and some of you, it could be related to this other thing that I mentioned about getting involved with co-signing or something like that. Some of you might decide not to, and that's okay. Or it may also be too, for some of you, kind of looking around and realizing, even though we've been through a tremendously difficult time here in the last couple of months, that people are together. Even though they're separated from the greater whole, there's still people around you. It can be, even though there's sort of a misery about this card, it's a reminder that there's always constant support. And part of it's you. You're just a very true friend. But either way, I do think that you look around and realize that as much as you might have lost some things, you've definitely not lost, you've not lost it all, and you've still got some good things going. And I actually like, after this Five of Pentacles, to see the star. This is all about renewal. And it's after a crisis, the star appears. This is Aquarius energy. So some of you may have an Aquarius that's important in your life, and you might have been distracted by some other things, taking care of some people, and you're going to have either this person show up, or you already know who it is, and they're going to start taking on a more prominent role for you. It feels like almost like a friend that turns romantic, that there's some kind of a friend that you've not considered before, and I do feel like there's some kind of a romance that's flourishing here. And that may not be for everybody, but it is for somebody here. And there's, with the Fool here, this is on Saturday, so that was Friday. On Saturday, you definitely are wanting to take a leap of faith. I do feel like there's a new beginning coming for somebody here. But there's also, on Saturday, there's a really nice, clean energy. Some of you are starting to get things back in order where you're able to get back into the doctor's office. You've got some things that have been delayed in terms of healthcare that were deemed non-essential, but to you they were pretty important. Some of you may have even had an elective surgery that was postponed that you can now go through with, and I think you're going to be really happy, or you've had it, and your recovery is going to go really well from that. So I do feel like overall with this, there's something with health that's going to take an upturn. And it's just like there's this freedom, and it's a breath of fresh air to not have this hanging over your head, whatever it's been. So there's a few things that start to move forward here that have been stuck and stagnant. And then on Sunday, you've got the King of Wands. And I feel like you've got this energy around you that people see you as really persevering, and they see you as somebody to admire. There's a very admirable trait around you at this time. But again, I do feel like you've got whatever this love interest is, certainly could be an Aquarius, where there's some passion there that starts to just kind of catch your eye. And it may be somebody too where they've been really goal oriented. They've been very focused on their goals, or you've been very focused on yours. And it's time to get a little bit more balance, between some of those more financial things and love. But there's definitely a push forward here with this. and movement forward. So there is a little bit, like I said, there's a decision that needs to be made. Um, but overall, as you move into that next week, and this is Flag Day, by the way, for anybody that cares about that, there's definitely a feeling of moving forward. So we'll wrap things up with Abraham Hicks, Asking It Is Given, and then an oracle card for attracting love. Whatever I can imagine, the universe can deliver. If you have the ability to imagine it or even to think about it, this universe has the ability and the resources to deliver it fully unto you, for it is like a well-stocked kitchen with every ingredient imaginable at your disposal. So if you can see it in your mind, you can have it in your reality. And that's, I've definitely seen that true in my life. So asking it is given. And then this is an oracle card to attract more love. Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. So even if you don't have exactly what you would have picked at this point, be aware, look around you. There's somebody for everybody. There, you'll see couples all around you. And when you do, really send them love and think, this is the universe showing me that true love exists. And true love can be part of your reality if that's what you want. So I love you so much, Cancer, and I'll be back again soon.